Microsoft announced the integration of the GPT model into a variety of their Microsoft Office products, their Power Platform, in the addition of a business chat. So now what we're actually seeing is the ability to use some of this generative AI directly within the tools that, I mean, a lot of people use every single day. And that's everything from, sitting in Word and having it help you write out whatever document you're trying to do, to designing an entire PowerPoint for you. Pretty impressive stuff. Curious which some of your initial thoughts were.
I think it is revolutionary. I think that for the first time ever, we're seeing artificial intelligence on a massive scale that can be utilized by anyone. No longer do we need to have our own personal knowledge of the technology. We can just deploy it, have it interact with our programs, and expedite all the work that we're doing. I think the PowerPoint is a great example. I mean, the example Microsoft brought up, the demonstration that Microsoft brought up of creating a PowerPoint just from words is out of this world.
And
But
I
it
think
go for it.
go back one extra step on the example too, because they did show a more traditional business use case of building out a pitch deck. I thought what was really interesting was the longest demo that they had throughout the presentation was about setting up a high school graduation party. And the reason I think that's genius is because no matter what your job is, there's tasks like that I think you'd be hard pressed to find people saying, man, I'm really going to miss doing all the legwork to get my child's graduation party set up. It's the exact type of experience that everyone probably thinks they could do better or would love to be more organized and knocking out. And that it just really showcases that those are the type of tasks that the system can take off your plate.
Yeah, I mean, to go back to our RPA example earlier, it's that routine menial task that nobody really likes doing. It's a chore, but AI can do it and do it better and faster. Booking meetings, another one for me personally, that is, kind of a struggle. You got to go through 8 different calendars, figure out what times overlap, where we can actually schedule, how far in the future. AI is perfectly positioned for tasks like that. And I think Copilot will become that orchestrator of the everyday working individual.
And what's unique about where Microsoft is positioned is that you have access to that data that can help get this all done. Because you mentioned booking meetings, right? We have Outlook calendars, so you have that information. But take it one step further. You can pull up the information from the emails for the context of the meeting, understand what those talking points should be, information you might have had to look up otherwise, maybe even tell you who should have been invited in the first place, and come up with the content you're going to share. It's the ability to utilize all that different, we'll call it, business data, silo data that you had, even if it's within Microsoft, it's bringing it all together to one place. And I think it's truly impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's dynamic, right? We're constantly adding new information to client records, to meetings, to our everyday working environments. And what Copilot excels at is being able to pull, say, from meeting notes to understand the context of what happened in the past to help schedule, write an email, or make an introduction all around a central topic. That hasn't been able to happen before. But now that we can start compiling information from different sources throughout the firm, that is now readily accessible for a bot to make sense of and act on.
And that's important, that it can actually act on some of this information, because you see a lot of jokes that, we're bringing Clippy back and
I miss Clippy.
Yeah, well, who doesn't? But the difference here is that it truly, it feels more organic. And I think how you're utilizing some of this information. The other thing, they brought up a lot of things, but another important one was the business chat, where you just kind of have that chat feature available to you regardless of system that you're in. And again, I think if people are more organically using these tools, you're not going to a standalone chat website. Like you just happen to have a question about something, you can casually bring it up at any point. That's the way that you get mass adoption, quite frankly. It's
totally
putting
agree.
it where people are.
And how many times have Or do you remember forgetting something from a meeting you had a month ago? Well,
Mhm.
now with things like Copilot, who can go back not just a month, but years in the past and immediately answer a employee related question on a topic that was in the past is incredible. I
I
think, yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say, I mean, I think I wish it was just a month ago that I'm forgetting these ideas. I mean, truthfully, it doesn't matter if it's an hour or 5 years. It has that same retention and ability to pull up that information, which is what's incredible, and then draw parallels between those things.
Absolutely. And the fact
Uh,
that we're connecting it to more and more applications, more and more
mhm.
information allows the bot or the AI to learn and adapt and become more proficient at the tasks we're assigning to it, which is
So
only going to make it get better in time.
so I do wanna ask here, about as you talk about we're connecting it to more systems. I do think one of the things that's a level of complexity higher than they showcase the Office examples, and that's amazing, right? The technology for PowerPoint's great, but the Power Platform and how it could potentially integrate into that tool is a bit of a game changer. I mean, these are low code coding platforms or software development platforms, right? With Power Apps and Power Automate allows you to kind of set up, I mean, a bit of a bit of process automation, but it almost feels like we're making low code seem like too much code. If you
Mhm.
can just tell the system what you want and build an app to do it, I think that one blew me away.
Yeah. I think a lot of the big tech companies are always discussing how to democratize AI, how to get citizen developers to build these applications that make working life more efficient. And Power Apps is a great example of a low code environment where that can take place. We can now create automated workflows that help improve our workday. Well, I don't know about you, but when I've tried to make Power Apps in the past, it's not so much low code as it is a drag and drop environment with some additional functionality that you got to drill into. I think where GPT or Chat GPT empowers the citizen developer is now all of those low code environments can be basically you can direct an employee on how to make these more efficiently, more effectively, and get more of these automated applications out into the working world at a faster pace.